Okay, so Sir Gawain and the Green Knight is about this guy, and his name is Sir Gawain, and he's a knight of King Arthur's Round Table or whatever. And so they're at this party because I guess they did that a lot back then. And this Green Knight, who's like literally green, he's not just environmentally friendly, comes up and he's like, "Hey, Arthur, we should play a game." And Arthur's like, "Yeah, we'll play a game." And the Green Knight's like, "Okay, you can try to chop off my head, and then I'll try to chop off your head." And Gawain, who I guess was really good at the game, is like, "No, I totally want to play." And so they try to play, and Gawain really easily chops off the dude's head, and the Green Knight's like, "Yeah, well, the Green Knight's dead." And then he picks up his head, and it's like, he was totally still able to be alive, even though his head was gone from his body. And he's like, "Okay, that's cool. I know I totally cheated, but you need to come back in like a year, and I'll either chop off your head, and we can do this again. We can do this whole thing again." And so basically, he goes away, and the Green Knight goes away, and it's all good. And so then a year passes, and then Gawain has to run around finding this Green Knight, and so they have all these adventures. Gawain does. Gawain just has all the adventures that we just sort of skip over because I guess it's not really important. And, like, fighting dragons, not important. And so then they finally meet up at this other chapel, and he goes to this other castle, and he meets this guy named Bartlenock, or Bartleby, or whatever. And so Bartleby is like, "Oh, cool, you're searching for this Green Knight. Well, I totally know where he is. Meanwhile, why don't we play a game?" Because I guess there was nothing better to do than play weird games back then. And so, how about we do a trade? So, you stay in the castle while you're hanging out at this castle, and I will go out and hunt things, and then at the end of the day, we'll give each other whatever, and whatever we each got. And so, Gawain hangs out in the castle, and Bartleby's wife is like, "Oh, here, how about I kiss you?" or something. And so Gawain obviously kisses her, and then Bartleby comes back and is like, "Here's this ox," or something. And then Gawain's like, "I have to kiss you," and then they kiss. And then this happens, like, multiple times, I guess. And so then, anyways, Bartleby comes back, and he's like, "I have this really fancy..." Wait, no. Okay, so the wife comes, and she's like, "I have this really fancy girdle thingy that will protect you from the Green Knight when you go and you fight him," which the Green Knight had in the beginning, or something. And so he's like, "I really should give this to Bartleby, because that was the deal of our bet, that whatever he got, he would give me, and whatever I got, I would give to him." And so he goes off to fight the Green Knight, or something like that, and he goes to the Green Chapel, which is just as green as the Green Knight. And so he's like, "Aha, I'm here," and the Green Knight's sharpening his axe, and the Green Knight's like, "You're here, our time has come." And so, the Green Knight throws his axe at Gawain, and he misses, and Gawain's like, "It's all right, you can totally try again." I mean, practice round. And so he tries again, and he still misses, and then he gets it, but Gawain doesn't die because he was wearing the fancy girdle thing, or whatever. And it's like, "Oh, see, I can't die because I have the girdle too." And the Green Knight's, "Well, I guess you win." And then turns out, wait, no?
No, that's not what happens.
What happens?
Okay, so he swings at Gawain's neck. After all the gay stuff goes down, he swings at Gawain's neck and he misses.
Right.
And then he's like, "Oh, I gotta do that again." And
Yeah.
he's like,
Which
wasn't part of the plan. And then he swings at his neck again and he misses. And then he does it another time, and this time he just nicks his neck.
Yeah.
And then Gawain's like, "Oh, you missed, the game's over." And the Green Knight's like, "That was my plan all along."
And the Green Knight's like, "That was my plan all along." Turns out he was totally Bartleby the whole time. And he's like, "Hey, remember I was talking to you this whole time, and I was pretending like I wasn't the Green Knight when I was totally the Green Knight? I was totally the green knight.
I made up this whole game just to kiss
I
her.
made up this whole game for fun, I guess. And so that's cool. Anyways, you can keep the girdle, I guess.
But, like, he feels really bad about
Gawain
that.
feels really bad about it because he totally betrayed this bet that may have killed him. Also, Bartleby totally tried to kill him a year ago. But whatever, I guess it doesn't really matter. And so then he goes back to King Arthur's court, and he talks about all of this stuff. And he's like, I'm really ashamed of what's happened because I was, like, disloyal or whatever. And everyone's like, it's okay, I guess. And then Arthur's like, everyone gets a magic girdle.
Wayne.
And so everyone gets a magic girdle. The end.
The end.